Hey there, I'm Martin and I'm gonna teach you how to play the Christmas carol Deck the Halls on a diatonic harmonica in the key of C. Now I'm gonna assume that you can at least play clean single notes, and I'll be throwing in ideas that can be useful for every level. So first, let's hear it. Now this melody is Welsh and it dates back to the 16th century. Since it's a Christmas carol, the character of this tune is merry and joyful. It's arranged in the form AABA, so basically we just have to learn two melodic lines. Let's start learning the notes in melody A. And now let's check out the notes in melody B. So now that you know the note sequence, I'm going to teach you how to create some music with it. What I play at the beginning requires some tongue blocking techniques. Not knowing how to tongue block will limit your options, but it shouldn't limit your ability to express yourself through music. So before we start adding sophisticated techniques, first, we need to know how we are going to approach the tune musically. My default approach to this would be to create contrast between melodic lines using dynamics, that means volume changes, and also have some volume changes within each melodic line. So let's try it out. If we want to make this more interesting, we have to start thinking about music as a language. Within melody A and within melody B, we really have a conversation. So one part goes like this. And the second part answers. So now if we start thinking each melodic line as a conversation, we can actually start creating contrast within each line. And this is where things get more interesting. So what I like to do to differentiate each voice that's taking part in this conversation is to use different articulations for each voice. For the first voice, I'm going to play non-legato. That means that the notes are going to be separate from each other. And for the second voice, I'm going to play the notes mainly legato, so connected. So we can separate notes at three different levels. This is from the back of the tongue. This is from the front. This is from the glottis. And this is from the diaphragm. So I want the first voice to be festive, to be loud. People are dancing, people are excited. You get the idea. So how do we do this? Well, with splits. And our embouchure is going to cover 4 holes. And our tongue is going to block the middle 2. When we breathe air in through holes 2 and 5, we're actually not getting an octave. It's actually a minor 7th interval. that dissonant interval is played on a weak beat and only as a passing note. So that's why it works. Okay, so now we have the character for the first voice. Higher volume, octaves, non-legato. So it's gonna be something more rhythmic and with more energy. For the second voice, I'm gonna play at a lower volume, single notes, legato. So for the ending of the story, what I like to do is to give a sense of the two voices singing together, dancing together. So what I'm doing there is playing the same melody, but I'm breathing air out of two adjacent holes at the same time. So to me this gives a sense of closure, and once the song is already sounding pretty musical, I'll start to add ornaments, and the ornaments most of the time for me have a purpose, to accentuate or to create contrast. The first ornament is a tongue roll, and I use it to accentuate the first note. I feel a drum roll or maybe a tambourine, so what I'm basically doing is and then I engage the tongue block. The other thing I do is to add chords at the end of the second voice in order to bring the volume up and prepare the restatement of voice 1. I'll do a little rhythmic thing so it gives the sense that there's like a dance going on. So what I'm doing is breathing in through holes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I breathe air out of the same holes, but I do a tongue slap. And I block holes 1, 2, and 3 with my tongue. And then I take my tongue off. The third ornament, so there are two ornaments there. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. And for the second ornament, I'll play the main note and then move fast to the hole adjacent by moving the harmonica or my jaw. And the two together. That's the moment where the second voice answers just before they both start singing or dancing together. So for me that's the climax and requires some kind of special attention. And the final ornament is to end things in a more interesting way. It also makes more comfortable this phrase. So what I'll do is to use the tongue flutter. I'm breathing air in through holes 3, 4, 5, and 6. And my tongue is blocking and unblocking in a repetitive way holes 3, 4, and 5. So what you can hear at all times is hole 6. And you can put a little tongue roll so we tie everything together. So I really hope that this video was useful and interesting. If it was, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, I would like to hear from you in the comments. How would you approach a song like this? What other techniques do you think it would work well in this context? And please share any other ideas that can make this kind of songs more musical. If you want me to do another video on any other musical topic, also leave it in the comments and I'll consider it. See you then and have a Merry Christmas.